Welcome back, everyone. Shalom Aleichem. Now, you really thought that the Brisket Bonanza was done? But Brisket Bonanza never dies. It never dies. Brisket Bonanza is always an ongoing thing around here at the Rabbi Cooks. Now, let me tell you a story what happened. My friend Ben, again, the same Ben from that we did the honey episode with a couple weeks ago, he got in touch with me. He's like, "Hello, all this brisket, it's amazing." He's like, "I gotta tell you what I'm doing. I'm dry aging briskets to make them for the holidays." I said, "Ben, that's a great idea." And at the same time we said, we should make an episode. I said, "Of course we should make an episode. If someone's making an exciting piece of meat in the community, we should make an episode about it." So I said, "Ben, that's great." And we set a time, and we set a place, and we were ready to go. And then life got in the way. Oh, there were complications and issues, and the COVID pandemic striking everywhere. It got in our way. So now what? We couldn't get together to make our video. We couldn't get together to make the show go. But you know the saying, right? The show must go on. So we got to quote the Talmud and the Beatles at the same time to know what happened next. We got to get by with a little help from our friends. And that's exactly what we did. The Talmud teaches us, it says you got to have a dikduk chaverim, a pilpul chaverim, a back and forth with your friends. Bottom line is that when you need help, you rely on a friend. And of course, all right, this wasn't the end of the world. Everybody was healthy. Everybody was well. It was a speed bump in the scheme of life. But couldn't do without a friend. So what did I do? I gave Ben the camera and I gave him a tutorial on what to do. I said, "Ben, go for it. I'm sure it'll be great." And it's gonna be great. And it'll be delicious too. Let's go see what Ben does in the kitchen on this week's episode of Brisket Bonanza Never Dies. Dry aged brisket. Come on, let's go to Ben's kitchen. The first thing that Ben's going to do is he's going to create his rub for the brisket. This is a great rub. It's salt, garlic, black pepper, paprika, and some brown sugar. Basic and delicious. Now it's the moment of truth. After 45 days of dry aging, Ben's going to take it out of the bag. He's going to give it a smell first, because if it doesn't smell good, then we're all in trouble. And then he's going to start the process of removing the bark that's formed from the dehydration process, the dry aging. And then he'll trim up a little bit of fat that's left. And then we'll put on the rub. So now Ben's going to put this in the oven for at least 5 hours or so, perhaps even more, and give it a test. Stick your fork in it, you feel it out, you see, is it really feeling good? Is it the way it's supposed to be? Is it jiggling a little bit? And once you see all that, oh boy, you just get happy because you know you're going to be eating some brisket soon. The meat is out and it looks amazing, and now it needs to rest. Nighty night, brisket. The meat's been resting, had a nice nap. Now it's time for the slicing. You'll see Ben's going to slice it all one way across the grain, except for he did not take into account that the top and the bottom, the flat, has a different grain. It's still going to be delicious, but you'll find it doesn't bite the same. It doesn't taste the same in that way. You don't get all that moisture when the top is cut with the grain. It's a bit of a rookie mistake, but it's still going to be delicious. And I know Ben, he makes good stuff, so it'll be just fine. You can see as Ben slices through, it's so soft. It's delicious. You could just tell. But one thing I wouldn't do is I wouldn't use the fork, because the fork's going to break it up. I just put a glove on my hand and hold the meat in place with my flat palm. You don't dig into the meat that way. You don't break it up that way. It's really a great tip on how to firm the meat, make sure it's strong, it's firm, so it doesn't slip around, but also that you can just slice, make nice slices without breaking up the meat, and you get a much nicer looking piece at the end of it too. Just be careful you don't get some of your fingers in there, because nobody wants to eat finger brisket, trust me. Hey Ben, looks like you did an amazing job with that dry aged brisket. So tell me, what's the final product taste like? How is it?
That is excellent.
Wow, the meat looked amazing. Ben did a phenomenal job. And when I went over to get the equipment, I had a taste and it was delicious. I'm not sure how much the dry aged process added to the flavor, but the flavor was fantastic. It was a delicious piece of meat. I certainly would have been happy to have been a guest at his for the holidays or any time to eat that delicious piece of brisket. And I hope he makes it again soon and shares it with me. Like I said, you need your friends to get through the hard times in life. This time wasn't so hard, thank God, but together we were able to make a beautiful episode, a beautiful piece of beef too. And so you should help your friends, but not only that, seek them out when you need help. This is a major principle in Judaism. Seek out your friends when you need help. You know, I've spoken about friends a number of times. It's important to have good friends. Have good friends, rely on them. They should know they can always rely on you. It's gonna make your community a really great place. See you next week. Will it be Brisket Bonanza again? Probably not. We've got some other stuff in store. But Brisket Bonanza never dies. Okay, folks, see you next time. If you like what you see here on The Rabbi Cooks, then please subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. Share it with your friends. Everybody should know what we're doing here at The Rabbi Cooks. So please share, like, and eat delicious food with amazing people while discussing incredible ideas.